Yo, 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 what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and every one that you can, just so we can get out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Boston Celtics rookie Hugo Gonzalez showed in his first NBA game that he can be a lock for this rotation already, and I want to take a look, so let's get into the film. Alright, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come out. Saying Hugo Gonzalez had a more than stellar NBA debut, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 assist. Please do not look at his stat sheet and try to determine the impact of his performance. He was a team high +7 in a 10-point loss. I've done extensive research on Hugo. This is a player that I knew nothing about when the Celtics called his name at 28th overall. I dug into his Real Madrid stuff, even though he didn't play that much. I had to go back to his under 18 stuff, some FIBA stuff. I had to do a lot of things, right? Of course, at the top of the board of my scouting report of him was the defensive intensity and just his intensity overall, right? His mentality. He is a hustler, an energizer bunny type guy. I didn't think it was like this though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And one of the Celtics scouts, I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm not even gonna say it, but shouts out to you. He said that he had been watching Hugo Gonzalez for the past 4 years before the Celtics had drafted him, and he said that the fans will love him because of his market smart type of effort. And damn it, did we see that in this game? Now, Hugo Gonzalez is not perfect. He's not perfect. And when I say real deal, that doesn't mean he's like Luka Doncic or anything like that. We have a first round pick, 28th overall, that I think has shown already through preseason and in his first game that he can contribute and he can be a lock in this rotation. And he didn't even hit a 3 in this game. He didn't hit one jumper in this game. So let me go through. Of course, we're going to go through some of the stuff he did not do well. But 19 years old with this athletic profile, you'll live with that. Now here, the intensity is on full display. Josh Hart is one of the best coast-to-coast players in the NBA. Stopping transitions is so important. This might not seem like much to a lot of people, but stopping Josh Hart from getting in transition, because when Hugo was not on the court, they didn't stop the ball, and Josh Hart had 14 rebounds, and he created so many things off the fast breaks from them. So he starts behind Josh Hart, but he runs, he hustles his butt off. He gets in front of Josh Hart, stops that, and the Celtics get to set up their defense. All right, so here's the first basket of his NBA career. The Celtics are going to go to 77 slip. When you hear anybody say something about 77, it's just double drag, which is just 2 on-ball screens. So whenever you see 2 on-ball screens, they be called a double drag, or they can classify it as 77 action. So here I've seen like Hugo's potential as a driver. Like, he's shown flashes as a driver, he's shown flashes as a ball handler, but it's not all the way there yet. Of course, it's not, he's 19 years old. It's not supposed to be, right? Something that he can do now, and something that I've noted as a play style that I would love him to be at now, that we can maximize him as a handler right now, is putting him in actions where he can just turn the corner and drive. He's 6'7", has long arms, has big hands, he's athletic, right? So let him use that without having to, you know, cross a guy up and do all that just to get to the basket, right? So here, got the first screen by Anthony Simons on Jalen Brunson. He's going to set that. Then Tillman is the second screen here. But what Tillman is going to do, he's going to realize the space that Hugo Gonzalez has here. So he's just going to slip this, right? So as Hugo's coming towards him, he sees that he doesn't need to sit here and screen Jalen Brunson because he already has this space. If he used to sit here and screen, that would make it easier for Yabu to just pick up on Gonzalez, right? So he slips, and watch what that does to Yabu. He immediately drops. So now Gonzalez has this lane to drive. He's able to drive and hit the left-hand bank shot. And what's super impressive to me is that it seems like he's already gaining the trust of Joe Mazzulla. I forgot who it was. I forgot it was Jordan Walsh or Derek White or somebody. Like, they said Joe Mazzulla doesn't like rookies, or Joe might have even said that. Now, that doesn't mean that he doesn't like them as people, you know what I'm saying? But he wants things done a certain way, right? And with Jordan Walsh, who we drafted in the second round, Baylor Shaman, who we drafted in the first round, like, we've had some guys come in and as rookies are like, you know, they have to earn some respect. Hugo's first game, Joe trusts him with picking up Jalen Brunson 94 feet. I think that says a lot. I really think that says a lot. Now, Hugo, man, 94 feet pressure on Jalen Brunson as a 6'7" guy, that takes a lot, right? That really takes a lot. Here, he almost causes a backcourt violation, right? Jalen Brunson gets up the court barely, but Hugo is not letting these guys relax, right? So it looks like they were trying to get hit into some handoff here. He's denying Jalen Brunson, so now Josh Hart just has to go try to make something happen. He misses. Oh, well, no, sorry. Chris Boucher, who had 4 or 5 blocks in this game, I don't remember, but he was everywhere on the shot blocking department. So Hugo does a great job there. The 94 feet pressure on one of the best players in the NBA at 6'7". He does a nice job forcing the ball to go elsewhere. If you force the ball to go elsewhere on this team, on the offensive side of the ball. Other than Jalen Brunson, that's a win for me, unless it's like Carl Towns in the post against Anthony Simons. But this is some of the bad, right? Well, not bad. This is a teaching point, right? So he's the low man here, right? You got Miles McBride cutting, right? He's gonna take a bad angle to Jalen Brunson, right? I don't think he really knew where Jalen Brunson was. He follows the ball before he knows where Brunson is. So he overshoots this just a little bit to this side, right? And Jalen Brunson is able to go to his left, and then he fouls. And like, just think about all the things he did in this game. He blew up actions. He stopped multiple fast breaks. He crashed both glasses, full court press Jalen Brunson and Tyler Kolek at 6'7". He got 2 steals, multiple deflections, blocked Karl Anthony Towns. He screened. Like, he did everything in this game. And here on this play, again, we have him crashing offensive glass. Xavier Tillman ends up making the shot, so we don't need it. But now that gets him closer to the basketball, so now he can put pressure on Jalen Brunson. He denies the ball for a second. Jalen Brunson's able to get the ball. He's going to take it up now. He gets a step on him, but great help by Chris Boucher seemingly deterring Jalen Brunson from going any further. So he gets back to his man. Now Hugo is square, and he's able to get with Jalen Brunson. Now, he needs to work on like all things technique, right? So he has the motor, the insane motor. And it's not just a motor. It's a motor that on the floor with NBA guys, you can see is different. Like, Stan Van Gundy was gushing over this guy because of the way that he plays. Like, his intensity and his energy was just different than anybody else's on the court. So now that's what gets you excited, because he's not just regular in that area. Everything technical. So on the defense side of the ball, that's closing out properly, that's screen navigation, that's proper position and stuff like that. He has instincts, but the technical part, of course, he's a rookie. This is his first NBA game. On the offense side of the ball, is shooting, his handle, his stuff like that, right? So he still needs to work on screen navigation. He gets hit in the screen, gets stuck a little bit. Xavier Tillman does a nice job. They end up sending 2. Karl Anthony Towns' job on this play is to go screen for Landry Shamet, so he's not really looking for the ball, even though he's wide open. But Gonzalez notices, and he gets out of there. But look at the instincts, right? So from the time that he's on Jalen Brunson, notices that he has to switch. From this right here, he blows up a play. Karl Anthony Towns is coming to set this pin down on Anthony Simons. You see where Jalen Brunson is trying to go with the ball. This play is for Landry Shamet to come right here and try to get a shot up, right? Hugo Gonzalez sees that quickly, completely shadows Shamet with his hands. Now he can't get the ball. Jalen Brunson's forced to ISO, and we knock the ball out of bounds. And of course, I talk about the technical things, like on a rebound, and we know he has the effort, he has the intensity. He's a great crasher on both boards, but he has to be more technical in boxing out. Now, upon further review, his man is Jordan Clarkson here, right? Yabusele just comes like free type, right? So he has 2 guys. Now, he doesn't really look at, okay, so the last person he looks at is Clarkson. So he's really focused on Clarkson. I don't think he saw Yabu this whole time, but what I would want him to do, because there's other instances of this, is before he goes to crash, like before he goes all the way out with the motor and the effort, he needs to locate somebody and box them out. The Celtics are a smaller team, especially when Kata went off the floor, they got mauled on the boards. Now, I think even him being a perfect rebounder in those situations, they're still going to get mauled because they're just small, right? But he needs to work on, like, before he goes hair on fire, crashing for the rebound, find somebody, put your body on them. But here I think he was in okay position. Clarkson just gets a step on him and then does a spin move, and their arms kind of link right there, and then he falls, so they give the benefit to the offensive player. All right, so here he is again, picking up Jalen Brunson, 94 feet, 19 years old, 6'7", picking up one of the best offensive guards in the league at 94 feet, right? So I love that he cuts people off and he leads with his body instead of his hands, right? From Real Madrid, they're a little bit more lenient with the fouls. They'll let you play a little bit more than they will here in the NBA. In the previous play, we saw him cut Jalen Brunson off at half court, lead with his body, deny him so he didn't touch the ball again. Here, cuts him off one time, and Jalen Brunson is a strong guy, so when Hugo gets into his real man body, his real pro body, we're going to be even better. But he cuts him off one time, right? Leads with the body. Jalen Brunson gets him. Second time, leads with the body again. That's not a foul, Deuce. I don't know what you're talking about. He went right into his body. The instincts and the agility to know or to guess where Jalen Brunson is going. Lead with your body instead of your hands. Ref looking right at him. We good. Gets knocked down on the screen. That's pretty solid by Yabu, actually. But gets knocked down on the screen. Gets right back up, in the effort, like, Smart was not the best player in the world, right? But we knew that we could go to war with Marcus Smart. He gets up fighting for offensive rebounds. This isn't even his fault. Sam Hauser is in bad position for the rebound. Kata doesn't chase it. Hugo's just trying to provide any energy that he can and try to get his hands on the ball. And this next part, this is an insane closeout by Neemias Queta. Your 7-footer comes out, high hands closing out. Jalen Brunson drives, and he's able to backpedal right to the spot where Jalen Brunson wants to drive without fouling, Again, playing defense with his body and an amazing closeout by him. But again, technical, boxing out, right? This time is really on him, right? He looks at him right there. He looks at him again, so he knows that he's crashing. Then he just tries to box out, but no technique in that. Yabu is a veteran and he's way too strong for that. So he swims him and they end up getting the ball back. But the intensity, the hustle, the 94 feet, being able to pick up one of the best offensive guards in the league, Hugo's really good. All right, so here he is against Jalen Brunson again. Gets screen, gets caught in the screen. Good switch by him and Xavier Tillman. And then he gets the rookie, gets no respect from the refs call right here. What is that? He's fighting for position with Carnby Towns. Carnby Towns is in front of him. Hugo fights to get over top of that. So the ball goes to the other side. They try to get, Cat tries to get position again because he couldn't. They called a foul right here when they're both tangled up. That is a purely, they don't know who Hugo is, they know who Cat is call. All right, so here we're seeing some of those defensive instincts here. He's in the corner with Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart. Jaylen Brown is low right here, so he knows that if somebody cuts, that Jaylen Brown can just take them right there. So any pass right here, he's able to jump it. Right there, gets a deflection, and I believe we get the ball. All right, so we got Hugo in the corner against Tyler Kolek. The Knicks are going to try to go to some zoom action, which is usually a pin down for somebody to come receive a dribble handoff. So you see Josh Hart going to set that pin down, and Tyler Kolek looks like he's going to come over here and receive this handoff. So Hugo sees that. He's going to try to be aggressive, try to make sure Tyler Kolek can't get free on his right. Tyler Kolek, a phenomenal cut, using Hugo's aggressiveness against him, but a greatly timed switch right there by Anthony Simons, putting his hands up so the pass lane is not there. He saves a layup. Hugo makes one mistake, and he's like, yeah, I'm finna wreck this whole possession. Tightly covers Josh Hart on his handoff. He loses the ball. Ends up poking the ball away from Yabusele. He just has to go all the way to half court. Tyler Kolek gets the ball, and Hugo sees ball, goes get ball. All right, so here Hugo makes a phenomenal play, right? He's going to corner crash. We know how important that is to the Celtics. He is going to always crash the offensive and defensive glass, right? So he doesn't get the offensive rebound, but it gets him closer to the ball, right? So now I talked about Josh Hart being one of the best coast-to-coast guys in the NBA. He stops this before it even starts. Completely stopping whatever opportunity Josh Hart thought. So he grabs a boy, he's looking up, he's about to go see what's happening. Hugo stops the ball, right? He stops the ball, forces the pass. He sees Yabu coming, he steals it, and we get the possession. All right, so here he is against Tyler Kolek at half court again. We saw him do the same thing to Jalen Brunson. When they cross half court, he's putting real pressure on him. Not leading with his hands, but his body. Tyler Kolek right there tries to get off him. He forces Kolek to lose balance. The ball ends up going directly to OG, but a great block by Chris Boucher. And here another example of him being effective as a driver when he could just turn the corner, put his head down, and get to the rim. Right here against Josh Hart, takes his 2 steps, another left hand finish. Again, another situation where he's stopping the fast break. Celtics turn the ball over, he's behind Josh Hart, he finds a way to stop the ball. The first thing I was taught when I started playing basketball, stop the basketball. And he stopped 3 fast breaks by himself, right? Josh Hart is one of the best coast-to-coast players in the NBA. He stopped that 3 times. When he wasn't in the game, Josh Hart was going coast to coast. Here the Celtics, now that leads to a turnover. Celtics are able to get a fast break opportunity. You see him right there at the top of the key. He's going to crash off his glass and get a foul. And I talked about all the different things that he did. Here he's going to set a wide pin down at the top of the screen for Payne Pritchard. So here at the top of the screen against Deuce McBride, he's going to get square, set this screen for Payne Pritchard, and he's going to get wide open for a 3. And something else I noted in watching Hugo, his U18 stuff, his Real Madrid stuff, even though he averaged 11 minutes per night with Real Madrid last season, he averaged 0.8 offensive rebounds per game. So in just 11 minutes, he damn near averaged 1 offensive rebound per game. So that led me to believe that, hey, he's going to average a putback per game. And if he plays, 22 minutes like he did in this game, he could get up to 2 per game because he's just so good at it. He uses the same timing he does as a cutter to go get the offensive rebounds. All right, here, great time switch here by Anthony Simons. Great play by him using that wingspan to get the steal. Now, on this play, I thought Hugo, one, could have just given it back really quick to Anthony Simons. Mikal Bridges is right there to stop this, so I'm not sure if he would have made this, but Chris Boucher is also here trailing. I don't think he saw Chris Boucher at all, but this would have probably been the best option to just pass it back to Chris Boucher, see if he can finish the play, but he ends up passing back to Anthony Simons. He gets blocked, right? So now we're back on defense. He's going to hustle back. They're going to get a 3-yard by Jordan Clarkson, but you see down there, Carnby Towns has free eats. He gets 1 board, but Hugo blocks that out of here, ends up falling down, but Carnby Towns is just bigger and stronger than everybody on the glass, but I love the energy from Hugo. Just such a great play by him defensively. This is teach tape. Turning your man twice before half court. Turn him right there. Then he's going to turn him again, leading with his body, not his hands. Then they're gonna try to get into this handoff, right? He blows this all the way up. Kolek tries to come get it. He plays tight on it. Kolek tries to go the other way. High hands in the pass lanes. Carver Towns ends up throwing an air pass, and he has to be called off by Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla called the dog off because he felt like he might foul Tyler Kolek, but he tells him to step back a little bit. He steps back. Tyler Kolek still ends up turning the ball over. Again, another moment where the refs not respecting the rookie here. He's going to crash. Jalen Brunson is going to literally pull his arm down. He doesn't get a call. Okay, this play does end in a foul, but I don't care. And I will show you why. Here, picking up Jalen Brunson 94 feet again, pokes the ball loose. He just elects to give it to Mikal Bridges so he can bring the ball up. He don't want to face that pressure right now. So they get into a handoff, right? Look how tight Hugo Gonzalez is playing this, and look how he's able to stay. Even he stumbles and is still able to stay on the hip of Jalen Brunson, bro. This is what you want to see from your rookie, bro. He's guarding Jalen Brunson at 6'7", staying hip to hip with him, pump fake. He's a guy that loves to play off 2 feet. He's one of the best in the league at playing off 2 feet. No space, bro. The pump fake gets back in front, high hands, doesn't bound the pump fake, just ends up fouling. But you can live with this as a coach. And here Jaylen Brown gets double teamed and he's able to make the right pass in a 2-1 situation. But that is the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and every one that you can. Just shoot out there a little bit more. And I will see you guys in the next video. This is Nick. Peace.